Hello, ladies and gentlemen, or just gentlemen. I don't know who's all watching. But finally, welcome back to another episode of the Indianapolis Colts Madden NFL 26 franchise mode. Last episode was a pretty action-packed one. We had a double header on primetime, by the way, Thursday and Monday Night Football. Fun matchups. We matched up against Shedeur Sanders and the Browns, where we won. It was a close one. Shedeur Sanders outplayed us in the yards department. A lot of turnovers in this game, though, as well. I mean, 5 total turnovers, but Shedeur Sanders took 9 total sacks in this game. It was pretty hectic. Marcus Hampton did play pretty well as well. Our pass game was really there, but the defense did what they needed to do. Kalijah Kancey had 3 sacks, and 9 sacks insane. He took 9 sacks in the first 3 games of the season, and he took 9 in one game. Also point out Myles Garrett had a pick 6 in that game as well. I think that's the first real out of the series. And we also played Monday night against the Chargers. It was a close one as well. More offensive, not a lot of mistakes in that game. Jonathan Taylor played amazing, and the pass game wasn't really there for us, but it came down to the wire. Spencer Schrader missed a game-tying field goal, which ultimately lost us the game. So now we sit at 3-2 on the year, and year number 2 as we're gonna head back home. We're finally off the road trip to host the Houston Texans. But before that, we finally got our first mock draft. I usually like to take the chance to go into the mock draft, or to the prospects when the first mock draft kind of comes into form, because I think that just makes a lot of sense. But looking at where we picked pretty late. Obviously, we're 3-2. We're a positive record, so we're above the top 16. We will note some of the players. We're projected to get Jose Virgil, a cornerback, which maybe we need considering Kenny Moore's contract is expiring at the end of the year. So maybe we need a key replacement. Bobby Vaughn being the last one on the list in the first round. But let's kind of look deeper into these picks. And the number 1 projected prospect is Kyle Cooper, a right tackle. We already kind of have a little bit of information about him. He is more of a pass blocking guy, which could be what we need. We don't really have the strongest right tackle on the team. I think our starter's a rookie, like a 5th round pick. Now the left side, there's Logan Bingo. Interesting player. Trevor Sheffield is the highest rated defensive player. He is a edge rusher. I think our defense is fine. We need Trevor Sheffield, but he is something you're going to look at. He's projected to be number 3 or number 4. We got the first quarterback. Looking at him, I don't hate him, but I don't love him. He had the deep accuracy, but across the board, not really sure. Number 5 is actually a cornerback, Gavin Shepard. He actually looks like one of the more physically gifted players coming out of the draft. He's projected to go top 5 unless we watch the rest of the season. There's probably not a high probability that we will end up getting him. We'll look deeper at the quarterback position. There is Cam Godwin, who in my opinion looks better than Michael. Looks a little bit. He's actually, we don't have a lot of information on him, so that would be to be decided. No, it's actually me. Sorry, Matt. Jeff Michaels is the next player, but he does look a little bit worse in my opinion. Doesn't look as strong as the rest of the names. There's Roger around the day 2 projected picks. He's someone who could probably grab him or Connor Aaron. Playing okay so far. Aaron is projected to be in the 3rd to 4th round. There's Tyquan Rucker, who probably is the most athletic, one of the few athletic quarterbacks in this draft. To be honest, this quarterback draft isn't weaker than last season, but it doesn't really look all that strong to me. Looks very iffy. Going to the receivers, the skill position, there's Kawhi Gales, who was the highest rated receiver coming out of the draft. The only thing that kind of shakes me is that F rating. So he might not be a strong contender for the first round. He might end up dropping the 2nd, but there's still room for improvement. Tyrone Buckhalter to me looks slightly better. He just is probably a lot slower. But Tyrone Buckhalter, I could see us really picking him in the 2nd round, 3rd round to be honest. There's Bo Gates, who I think looks worse than Tyrone Buckhalter. his release is disgustingly low. So don't expect him to really be a one-on-one player. The one of my favorites on this list is Alonzo Weary. I think he's got some solid numbers. The reason why I'm not talking about numbers because I'm speeding through these because I can't read. But Weary is probably my favorite receiver on the list. Going back to the offensive line, if we can't get the number one rated player, Jacoby or Eric Cassidy are on the list at right tackle. If we really strongly believe we want to go to that position in the first round, which we can, but we won't go too deep into the draft or prospects as of yet. We'll do that as the season progresses. We'll focus on the defense the next time we revisit that topic, as we have to play against, of course, like I said, the Houston Texans. The Texans are a pretty almost perfectly built team all around. Last season you probably wouldn't agree with that, but they've got the talent, they got the arm talent in CJ Stroud, they got the offensive line, they got the defense, they've got almost everything. Also with losing Tank Dell, but I don't think that matters as Tank Dell did not play. We're looking for DeForest Buckner to kind of pick up some slack from the defense. The defense didn't really do a great job against the Chargers, so we're hoping to kind of turn it around against the Texans. So I think we'll have a slightly easier time, hopefully, in this game. Now, this episode, I wanted to talk about Michael Pittman being our number one highest rated receiver. I haven't really felt like it. I mean, he hasn't gotten the ball all that much downs. When even Mitchell tended to get the ball a lot more than him. He did have 5 TDs. He's got 2 so far on the year, but he hasn't really felt like our number one target like he's originally like. Plus, he's got spotters at the end of the season. He was a 32 which on paper isn't bad. Elijah Cansey, Josh Downs. Of course, we have Tyler Warren, whose contract is eventually going to expire. DeForest Buckner, just a few names on the list of guys who want contracts. I don't know if Pittman is something we want to pay, so I did look on the trade block to see if there's something we could get for him. And just with Pittman alone, there weren't a whole lot of interesting offers on this list. Stevenson is there, but we still have Jonathan Taylor, so there's no real reason to do that. And the only other option I thought looked really good was Raj McCrew from the Titans, because he could take the spot of Kenny Moore. So then I added which I don't think was Jack, but it also came out LSU. Nothing really caught my eye. Marquise Brown is an interesting player to know on this list, but I was thinking I wanted to trade Michael Pittman, so I was looking at the receiver positions, and Mike Evans is an interesting pick. He hasn't gotten the ball that much. He's taken a huge step back these last 2 seasons. He only got 1 touchdown last season. So I look for offers, and they want Jonathan Taylor outright or a bunch of draft picks, which I wasn't really willing to want to give up for Mike Evans. Him being over the age of 30 and him not having much time left in his career, I didn't think it made a lot of sense. So then I commented on Chris Olave. Biggest issue with Chris Olave is that he's just been injured a lot and he's playing for the Saints. The Saints have absolutely nobody. Worst case scenario for Olave is that he picked up a huge contract with the Saints, so he's on this team basically for almost life, which they don't get it together, and it's going to be a terrible year for him. They're asking for a lot for him, which makes sense. He's a lot younger, so they want a lot of draft capital. So I said no. Then with the Marquise Brown, the Titans were willing to offer him up earlier with a 3rd round pick, which I didn't think was too bad, but I think on this team we want a game changer instead of, just a regular receiver. I don't think Marquise Brown is going to change the pace on this team. So then I looked at Stephon Diggs, the guy who wanted court apparently, but that's not what we're even talking about. He has been pretty solid in New England. He hasn't really been the same since he's left Minnesota, obviously, because that was his prime years. But so far, he only has 1 touchdown. He came from week 1, and he hasn't been in the end zone since. He's got 2 years left on his deal. I thought the offer was interesting for Stephon Diggs. So first up, we offered that same trade package that we had earlier. We offered this for Stephon Diggs straight up, just to kind of gauge where the Patriots were at in the trade deal. And they said no, but they were They were pushing. So then we added another draft pick for next season. It's a 4th rounder. It's not really that good, but it's not all that bad. For Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is a little older, so I thought the trade makes sense. And they say no. It didn't really move the needle much. So then I wanted to see what the Patriots wanted in exchange for Stephon Diggs, and Kenny Moore is right on that list. Kenny Moore has an expiring contract as well. So it is interesting to note that maybe we could move a trade deal. The Patriots don't really have the best secondary on their team right now, outside of course, Marcus Jones and Christian Gonzalez. Their secondary is a little bit weak. Kyle Duggar is solid, but I don't think he's really anything game-changing for this team. And Kenny Moore, he's been pretty up and down. He's got the picks somewhat, but more often than not, when we talk about him, he's being burnt by receivers more often than not. So then I thought, okay, they need a cornerback, so why not throw Justin Wally into the package deal? And they still say no. So then I offered a more closer pick, or a higher pick, and they get a little closer. They say yes, but I thought Justin Wally didn't really make sense in this deal. So then this is the package I offered: Michael Pittman for a third round pick for next year. I'm wrong. Third round pick for this season, and a future second for 2029. And the Patriots say yes. So Stephon Diggs is now an Indianapolis Colt, and the Patriots will get Michael Pittman added to their squad, which I think Michael Pittman is a fine addition for Drake May. I think Drake May can actually make Pittman look pretty good. Stephon Diggs will be wearing number 88. I opted to potentially change his number, but I decided just to keep it the way that it is. But we got a potential criminal on this team. I shouldn't have brought that up. But a potential criminal on this team. Pittman is the 9th rated player on this team. He's been okay so far, but I didn't think he was someone we really wanted to pay that kind of money. I think the Patriots probably will opt for a deal. I think they have a little bit more money than we do. He is the number 2 receiver, but I think with weapons like Hunter Henry on this team as well, Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think he's going to take too much of that pressure. The Patriots, they'll get a second third round pick for this year, and they will get a future second for 2029. I think we'll be a way better team by then, so I don't think that pick is going to have a whole lot of value like maybe we were thinking it was. But that's the big trade of the episode, and now we got to keep our eyes now on the Houston Texans. One thing I wanted to look at, Taylor Newell. He was drafted this year, and he is superstar X Factor. What in God's name? But anyway, CJ Stroud, he's having a phenomenal year. 12 TDs and only 1 interception through 5 games. He was, I think, a top 5 rated quarterback the last time he met up with the Texans. So, yeah, he's just picking up where he left off in phenomenal fashion. This team has an amazing offense led by Christian Kirk and Nico Collins, and receiving core with Dalton Schultz. Doug Kaiser is out. An amazing offensive line. Defense up the wazoo. Chip Blythe with star development. We're going to see a little bit of him in this game, hopefully. Aziz Al-Shahir, Derek Stingley in the secondary. This is a terrifying team. I think they're easily the best team in the AFC South for sure. Our number 1 threat. I know Jacksonville won the AFC South last year, but I'd argue that was a fluke because I don't think the Jaguars are better. I think the Jaguars have a scary defense, but their offense, it can be a bit questionable at times. And the Titans are kind of just the Titans. They're kind of where we're at, where we're kind of a team that can perform but just chooses not to a lot of the time. And the Texans are kind of just at the top of the top, I believe, over the Jaguars. And they're proving it this year. They're 4-1. Looking at their schedule, they lost week 1 against the Bengals, and they've won every game since then. It was a pretty devastating loss. Joe Burrow absolutely torched them. Keep in mind, the Bengals are 5-0 at this point of the season. So it's not like the Texans lost to a complete nobody. Taylor Newell made his debut when he looked pretty good with 70-plus yards and a touchdown. Tutu Atwell with 3 TDs. I'm pretty sure we visited this game back when we played week 1. I'm pretty positive. But I also want to note, Taylor Newell was picked up in the 2nd round of the draft this year. But here we go, week number 6. The Colts host the Texans, the first home game for the Colts since week 1. Finally getting back to this home crowd. Riley Leonard also made his first start against the Texans. So, pretty interesting game with an interesting storyline. Leonard, right out the gate, will run out the pocket. He'll get 8 using his legs. So now it's 2nd and 2. Pretty pivotal game here. It's division or interdivisional game. That pass almost picked off. A terrible throw by Leonard into traffic. He's done that quite a bit this year. He's had some clean games and had some pretty iffy ones. 3rd and 2. Nowhere for Taylor to go. He is stuffed. And there is the rookie Chip Blythe making a solid play on one of the best running backs in the entire NFL. So the Colts 3-and-out punt the ball away. And here comes C.J. Stroud. We just talked about him. 12 TDs and 1 interception at the age of 24. He's only really going to get better from here. Stroud steps back in the pocket. He just goes underneath, and he finds Joe Mixon for the first down. I meant to see if they will play a lot of Taylor Newell in this game. Yes, it surprised me that he even had Superstar X Factor. That's crazy. But then Dalton Schultz beats Jalen Jones for the first down in one-on-one coverage. One-on-one coverage has not really been our strong suit, which I think with our secondary it should be, at least somewhat, but you've shown stints where it just is a struggle. 3rd and 3 for Stroud. Almost runs into pressure. Incomplete hit as he throws and away from his bodies. That's a good job by the Colts defense. Just put pressure on him, force a bad throw. This one punted all the way inside the 5. Is down at the 2. So Colts already with bad field position to start the second drive. Look at Jonathan Taylor. He is torching every other running back in the NFL, and you can kind of see why. First down play for Jonathan Taylor. Nice throw by Riley Leonard. Risks a sack, but no one within 5 yards of him, so he makes a play. 3rd and 7. Leonard throws it deep. It's a little bit too far for Tyler Warren. So after getting out of that jam, it's ultimately a 3-and-out after the fact. So Texans offense on the field, handoff to Mixon, and he will only get about 4 or 5 yards. Not a lot of offensive plays so far. Screen play for Mixon. He's got running room, and he will be pushed out of bounds in Colts territory at the 45-yard line. That is now 2nd down and 4 for Stroud in the offense. Stroud steps back, fires up the middle. He's got his man. It's Jaden Higgins who makes the catch. And another screenplay following up for Stroud. Back to Mixon. Another first down. 5 first downs already in this game. 3 on this drive. Or 4. Handoff to Mixon. Bowls over a defender. And he gets 8. And the Houston Texans are marching down the field. Colts force a 3rd-and-1, and they won't get it on the QB sneak. They are short a few inches. One thing I will say that I'm not a big fan of this game is the fact that on 3rd-and-1, the AI will 9 times out of 10 always go for a QB sneak. They don't really shake it up all that often. But the field goal is good, so the Texans will take the first lead of the game. Handoff to Taylor. He goes right up the gut for a first down, doing what Jonathan Taylor does best. It's now the Colts trail only by field goals, not really that much. Then now they'll take a page out of the Texans book with the screenplay. First down for Jonathan Taylor again. Already in Texans territory. They'll give it to Taylor, bouncing it outside, runs into a defender. So that goes nowhere. Loss of 2, back to midfield. As now it's 3rd-and-12 for Leonard. Buying time up the middle. He's got a man. It's incomplete for Jonathan Taylor. Tried to get him to carry the offense. It didn't work, so they'll have to punt the ball away again. As we reach the second quarter, offense has been empty for the Colts. Stroud to throw it up the middle. Finds Mixon. Shakes Zaire Franklin. And it's another first down for Mixon. He is torching this defense so far. Most of these plays have went to him. Man in motion gives it to Mixon on the run up the middle. He will get 7 yards. Makes 2nd down a little bit more manageable. 2nd-and-3. Quick throw to left side. Finds Nico Collins. Left side first down, and Kenny Moore upset visibly. But this is a regular occurrence for Kenny Moore because he's always getting beat in one-on-one coverage. Anyway, 2nd-and-6. Pressure coming to Stroud. Has to get rid of it. And there's maybe the change that the Colts defense needs to see. So 3rd down. Stroud will throw it again. Right side, and in it is caught for a gain of 3. Couldn't really find his bearings on that throw, so he steps out of bounds. This kick 50 plus yards out. And the kick is up, and it is in between the uprights. It's not hard for a guy like Kyrie Fairbairn to make those kind of kicks. So now it's 6-0. Defense holding strong for the Colts, but the offense needs to put in some work. And there's the first catch for Stephon Diggs in a Colts uniform, the first of hopefully many. It's now 3rd and 2. Leonard to throw. That's overthrown, incomplete. And again, the Colts offense goes empty. Nothing there. 6-0. Offense hasn't done much outside of Jonathan Taylor. And that's the biggest weakness with this team, is that when Taylor doesn't play well, the team doesn't play well. A little bit of a short pass to Mixon again. He gets the first down. Mixon is torching this defense. He's not doing it alone, but he's been mostly responsible. Fakes the handoff to Joe Mixon as Stroud tried to do it himself. And there's Kenny Moore with a good play. Loss of 2. So maybe that will get him fired up. Would that improve his coverage? Probably not. 3rd and 12. Stroud finds his surroundings. He'll just check it down to Mixon for a gain of nothing. As it forces the 4th down, the Texans shaking up on the field. But this will force the second punt by by Houston today. And it is a terrible one at that. It's set inside the 30 at the 34-yard line. The Colts now with some solid field positioning. A chance to try to put at least a field goal on the board. Well, best case scenario, a touchdown. Leonard steps up. He'll run up the middle wide open. It won't be a first down. He'll be short a few inches. Now it's 2nd and inches. Handoff to Giddens. Finds a hole past midfield. If Mitchell holds that block for a little longer, he gets a little bit more yardage. First down, play fake by Leonard to the right side. Incomplete, meant for Warren. Still haven't really gotten this pass game going. It's been a consistent reoccurrence. Handoff to Giddens, falls Warren. He's deep downfield, inside the 20, pushed out of bounds at the 11. Giddens picking up where Taylor left off. It's 2nd down and 6 inside the 10. Leonard fires in the end zone. He finds his man. It's Tyler Warren in the end zone, and the Colts will tie this game up and score the first TD of the game. It took close to 2 whole quarters. One-on-one coverage, the defender just gets beat right there. It's not much to say about that. They make the extra point. It's now 7-6, 3:26 and counting. Hand it off to Mixon. He's got nowhere to go. JT Tuimalu involved in the play. It's now 3rd down. As Stroud, he's going to try to throw it up the middle. He finds his man. Mixon stays on his feet for another first down. Can't be pushed to the ground. So new set of downs for the Texans inside 2 minutes. Stroud buying time. He has to get rid of it again with pressure coming. Forces a 3rd down and 8. Rapid firing through this game, I know. Texans, Stroud, he gets sacked, and it's Latu Latu. Takes him down to the ground. Colts get the ball. It's now 3rd and 13. They kick it to Will Mallory, and it is enough for the first down. Or sorry, Tyler Conklin, sorry. He was pushed past the first down marker. Leonard on the move. He will fire it to Adonai Mitchell for the first down, and the Colts will use their second timeout, trying to at least get 3 points on the board. Leonard steps back, fires to the right side. He finds his man. That's Anthony Gould. Steps out of bounds. It's now 2nd and 3. Still with a little over 20 seconds left in the first half. They'll hand this one off to Taylor. Shakes off a defender, still on his feet. First down. Gets some yards. Texans or Colts get a little bit more. This one about 40-plus yards out for Schrader. This one in between the uprights is good. And that will close out the half. The Colts up 10-6. After first half of the game, it's been a mostly defensive game. Not a lot of offense. Least of all coming from the Colts. They've struggled, but they're up. So, really, it doesn't matter. Reach the halftime report. As they win the Saints, they go to Lambeau Field to play against the Packers, and it went just about as you expected it. The Saints lose again. They're now 0-6 on the year. Packers are playing really impressively. They're 5-1. They're looking dominant so far, which that doesn't surprise me at all. It's the Packers. Next, the Battle of the Birds, the Cardinals and the Eagles go head-to-head. Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray, but the battle isn't looking like much of a battle because the Eagles are up 24-7 off of this big play by not A.J. Brown, that's Devontae Smith. I almost said it was A.J. Brown. Can the Cardinals come back? Probably not. And then we'll finally see the battle in the NFC West. The Washington Commanders host the LA Chargers. And look at this play, or Chargers Rams. And look at this play right here by Pierce, dancing in the backfield. He gets into the end zone. I hope that's Pierce. I can't read, but it's 16-14. Commanders in the lead. That's a crazy play into the end zone. I don't know how he made that happen, but interesting matchups at half. Least of all being the Packers and Saints, because as a Vikings fan, I don't want to see the Packers win. But anyway, back to this game. Like I said, it's been mostly defensive. The ground game for both teams has really been the catalyst. It's been getting the job done, but it's only resulted in one touchdown in a 10-6 ball game at half. CJ Stroud is playing great, but hasn't made it into the end zone yet. Texans have not really taken advantage of the offense they've played, and despite how bad and inconsistent the offense has been for the Colts, they're up 10-6. Sometimes all it takes is one drive. Hand off to Mixon. He's going to pick up where he left off in the second half with almost 10 yards. The Texans are short a few inches. They'll play fake this one. Pressure is coming. Stroud buying time, running away, and he takes another sack. And who else but Kalijah Kancey? Loss of 9. And it's now 3rd and 9. Kalijah Kancey's really picked up his game since being on the Indianapolis Colts, getting more time. Instead, Stroud will fire up the middle. That is caught by Dalton Schultz for a first down. Erase the sack from your head because it's like it didn't matter. 1st and 10, man in motion. Play fake again up the middle. That's a nice pass by CJ Stroud for another first down. And another Texas offensive lineman is shaken up. Hopefully he's alright. But the Texans now in Colts territory. Hand off to Mixon. He's got running room. And it took the safety to have to meet up with him, but it's still a first down nonetheless. Now 2nd and 10 at the 28. Stroud steps back. He escapes the pressure somehow. And instead of it being a sack, it's a gain of 4. Best case scenario right there for the Texans. Pressure was coming. 3rd and 6 up the middle. He finds his man. That's a first down for Jaden Higgins. Another 3rd down conversion for the Houston Texans. They want their 6 points. Stroud on the move in the end zone. That's incomplete. One-on-one play. Nice shot by Drew Tranquill to get there and make a solid play on the ball. Not much of a pass defender, but he got the job done nonetheless. And now Texans are forced to kick a field goal now. Not from far out. They're trying to make this a 1-point game. And the kick is up and good. So the game is now 10-9 in favor of the Colts. The Texans have struggled a little bit. Now, the Texans have struggled to get into the end zone so far. They managed 3 field goals. As first drive for the Colts, that's a nice shot to the right side of the field by Leonard. You're not going to see him make many of those throws. We haven't seen him make many of those throws. But hopefully with time, he will get better. Hand off to Taylor up the middle. Finds a hole, gets the first down. You would think he'd be short a few inches. He actually wasn't, believe it or not. But now Colts in scoring distance. Within scoring distance, hand off to Taylor again. As he only gets about maybe 3 or 4 yards. And on that play, Jonathan Taylor was shaken up on the play. And he's headed to the tunnel. So we hope and pray that he's going to be alright. So DJ Giddens comes into the game. Leonard with time, fires, left side. He finds his target. And it's Adonai Mitchell. We called his name a lot lately. More so than Josh Downs, I feel like. He's really stepped up his game since getting more playing time. And that's a really on-target throw by Roddy Leonard. Play fake again, buying time, right side. He's got his target again. Out of bounds, that is caught inside the 10 now. And the Colts are making moves. 1st and goal. Leonard tries to keep it himself. He takes a hit. Doesn't lose the football. So good play, good job by Leonard. And we get the worst news possible. Jonathan Taylor tears his pectoral, and he's gone for the rest of the season. Worst thing that could happen for us. We lose our best player for the game and possibly for the rest of the year. Usually this glitch, so you never really know. But for the rest of the year, so we got to go the rest of the game without him. And with pressure coming at Leonard, the pass is no good. So it forces us to kick a field goal. It is good, so it's now 13-9. Now hand off to Mixon for the Texans. They're back on offense. But we're hoping that it is the glitch and it's just for like a game or two. But the worst case scenario, Jonathan Taylor is out for the rest of the year. And we got to go the rest of the year without him. Another QB sneak by the Texans, and again, they don't get it. They're short a few inches, and now they end up not going for it. So we get the ball back, momentum on our side, tossing it to Giddens. He finds a hole and manages to turn a possible 3-4 yard loss into a 7-yard gain. So it takes all in that. It's 3rd and 4. Leonard to the right side. Don't know how that catch was made. It was kind of in traffic, but Adonai Mitchell making a play again. He's really stepped up his game with more playing time, with us trading Alec Pierce last year and now with Michael Pittman gone. He's got to step up to the plate. 2nd and 10 with a little bit less left in the 3rd quarter. A little cross screen action. Ezekiel Elliott gets the catch. Great push block. He falls his blockers, goes out of bounds inside the 20 down at the 16-yard line. Colts want 7 in the end zone. That's incomplete for Diggs. Looking for his first touchdown as a Colt. That wasn't a great throw by Leonard, but Giddens makes up for it and almost is in the end zone for the Colts. But they are a yard out, and with Riley Leonard keeping it himself, the Colts now up 19-9. What a drive. Almost had the touchdown to Stephon Diggs. That's what we were looking for. But a bad pass by Leonard. He threw it on the inside instead of the outside. Luckily, it wasn't a turnover, but he makes up for his mistakes. Gets into the end zone, and now it's a 20-9 game with a little bit left in the 3rd quarter. Mixon with the handoff. He's going to get some free running room, and he's down at about the 30-47. That's the 47, guys. I told you I can't read. Which closes out the 3rd quarter. And now the Texans in trouble. They're trailing by 11. It's not a big deficit, especially in football. It's a 2-possession game, but really it only takes one key possession or one key play for them to get back into this ball game. And what the Texans do, fire at the middle, that's caught, and it's Dalton Schultz again. And it's Nick Cross. I called him Jalen Jones earlier. It's Nick Cross who gets beat in the one-on-one coverage. He's mostly focused on guarding Dalton Schultz. Up the middle, that is caught. What a play by Stroud to Collins. The safety was a little bit behind, and now the Texans finally within some scoring distance, looking for their first touchdown of the ball game. Fakes the handoff, the defender falls for it, and it results in a first down. Could have been a sack if he stayed on Stroud. Instead, that's not the case. Now 2nd and goal at the 4. Stroud buying time, checks it down to Mixon, and great tackle by Travarius Ward. If that's broken, that's a touchdown. So 3rd and goal, Stroud and the Texans in trouble of potentially having kicked another field goal. That won't happen as CJ Stroud finds Jaden Higgins for the Texans' first TD of the ball game. The pressure was coming to CJ Stroud right in front of him. Ignored it and finds his target. And who else but Kenny Moore to give up that one-on-one coverage. But the Texans side, we don't want one. We go for 2 and wide open underneath, and it's a 2-point conversion. So now 20-17 with a little over 7 minutes left of the ball game. So now the Colts offense comes on the field. Quick throw to Stephon Diggs. Kamari Lassiter makes the tackle, but it's 4th and inches. So the Colts just kick the punt or go for it. They say, you know what, we're going to trust in our offense with no Jonathan Taylor, and we're going to go for it on 4th and inches, probably trying to get the Texans maybe to jump and just get the first down the easier way. They don't do it. They call the play, and it's Giddens who gets enough to get past the first down marker. That will allow the clock to continue to run, which bad for the Texans. It's 3rd and 1 again. As Leonard, he's going to go to the left side. He fires, and it is caught by Diggs, but he stepped out of bounds. Good pressure by Laster. Pass a little bit late, so now the Colts will have to kick the punt this ball to the Texans. The Texans get the ball back. Quick throw up the middle, basically, is short of a yard. So 3rd and 1. I don't know if a QB sneak really helps you here. If you are the Texans, they got a man in motion now. Running out of time, hand off to Mixon, and Mixon is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And that's Jalen Jones, who makes a key tackle, which forces the Texans have to kick the ball to the Colts. So 2nd and 6, hand off to Giddens, tries to bounce outside, nowhere to go. And the Texans will use their first timeout. They don't want the 2-minute warning. They want time left. They want to play into that. So 3rd and 7, now the Colts have to make a decision on what they want to do. They'll throw the football to Tyler Warren, and with the stoppage and with defenders right there, it doesn't convert. Texans will use their second timeout. Colts will give them the football. So 2-minute warning now for the Texans. Quick throw to Nico Collins. He gets the first down. Texans still have 2 whole minutes and a timeout to play with, so pressure really is on the Colts right now. Stroud, he will have time, fires it to Mixon. He goes out of bounds down at the 41-yard line. They are close to within field goal range. Stroud with pressure coming. He's sacked, and it's Kalijah Cansey, his 2nd of the day. Not what you want to take if you're the Texans. They hurry up. They don't want to use that timeout. Don't want a lot of time going off the clock. Stroud still in the pocket. That's incomplete. And now it's a 3rd and 17 for the Houston Texans. They got to find a play that works. At least try to get in the field goal range if they can. A little over a minute left to go. Stroud, he fires. It's incomplete. Pressure coming. And this might be ball game. Last potential play of the game. If they don't get it, they lose. Stroud steps back. He's got time. He fires it downfield. Pass is caught by Kirk. Bynum can't wrap up. And Christian Kirk is in the end zone. And it's a late game touchdown for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. What a play by Stroud and Kirk. And the Colts faithful stunned. Kirk catches the football. Bynum gets there late. He wasn't there. Couldn't get a coherent wrap-up, and Ward was blocked. Great blocking by Jaden Higgins on Travarius Ward. Ward couldn't get there in time. And now with the extra point, the Texans lead 24-20 with 50 seconds left to go in the game. So now Leonard and the offense, they have to get in the end zone. Field goal isn't going to work. They kick it to Diggs. He only gets 6 yards. That's not really going to help you if you're the Colts, though. Because time's going to run and force you to use a timeout. They'll let the clock go. Leonard to throw. Left side, he finds his target. That's Josh Downs. And the Colts will use their first timeout. At the 46, close to Texans territory, kicks it to Warren. Warren is short in the first down, and the Texans, I keep mixing these up. Colts use their second timeout. 2nd and 1. Leonard steps back. He's going to have some time. He just fires it underneath to Diggins, who steps out of bounds. So over 20 seconds left. These chump plays aren't doing much for the Colts, but they're still getting closer. Leonard buying time. He gets rid of it, and there's a flag on the play, and it's intentional grounding on Riley Leonard. This is going to back the Colts up. With only 3 seconds left to go, they've got to heave this downfield in the end zone. That's the only thing they can do. So Leonard, he's going to step back. He's got time. He'll fire it with his arm in the end zone. It's incomplete, but there's laundry on the field. Defensive pass interference on Jaquan Shepard. So now the Colts at the 1 and no time left on the clock. This is the second best scenario for the Colts. They get one more play to see what they can do. Leonard, quick throw to the end zone. It's to Warren, and the Colts score the last second touchdown, and they're going to take this game home. What a game, I should say, not a play, but what a game between two divisional rivals that are going to be the team to beat for sure for us. Warren with his second touchdown of the game and his second straight game of 2 touchdowns, and we win 26-24 on a game-winning drive. The catalyst being that defensive pass interference play by Shepard. Without that, we lose this game. It was a close game down to the wire. 2 plays that really were both heaves, even though the second one was more of a 1-yard touchdown. It looked like the Texans were going to win with that pass to Christian Kirk, but Roddy Leonard with the comeback drive. Both quarterbacks played really well. Obviously, Stroud, I think, outplayed Leonard for sure, but that's not to take away how good Leonard actually played. He kept his confidence, stayed poised, and he played really well. Completion percentage still not where I would love it to be, but with Jonathan Taylor being out, we kind of had to force ourselves to throw the ball a little bit more. Mixon played it really well in both the pass and the ground game. He was the catalyst. DJ Giddens stepped up where Jonathan Taylor kind of left off. Jonathan Taylor, we're hoping he is okay. It says he missed the rest of the year. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the case, but you never know. Madden is always weird with this kind of stuff. Obviously, their receivers outplayed them. Jaden Higgins played really well. Christian Kirk, Nico Collins, Tyler Warren played really well. Stephon Diggs with a solid game so far, his first game as a Colt. Tanner Newell wasn't deeply involved in this game. I expected to see him a lot. But surprisingly enough, they didn't really play him a whole lot in this game. Not really a lot of, as much defense as there was in this game, there weren't a lot of sacks or really any turnovers in this game, weirdly enough. Laitu Latu, he had a few TFLs as well as a sack. We had 3 in this game. Elijah Canty responsible for 2 of them. He's been absolutely insane since we acquired him from the Bucs. It's actually crazy, and it's been really fun. DeForest Buckner unfortunately didn't really do much in this game. He was the target player, but he seemingly didn't really do anything. But we got the win anyways. So even though DeForest Buckner was kind of lackluster, the defense showed up where they needed to. We left the Texans really to 24 points, realistically 9 through 3 quarters. I think it was 11. No, it was 9 through 3 quarters. But it was 9 through 3 quarters. This was for the fans out. We're going to give credit to them because we've been on a road trip, so they stayed with us. But Jonathan Taylor, we get the news. He's out for the rest of the year. 31 to 37 weeks. That's not a glitch, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone for the rest of the season. So, a bittersweet ending to the week. We got the win, the clutch win against the Texans, but at the cost of Jonathan Taylor. He's gone for the rest of the year, so DJ Giddens and Ezekiel Elliott are kind of going to have to work their way in the backfield without him, and he was on pace to kind of beat his numbers from last year. He won every game outside of this one. He scored a touchdown. So bad news, like I said, a pretty bittersweet week. We'll look at the weekly recap as we head to Lumen Field with the Colts and the Texans. It's our first home game since week 1, and the game-winning touchdown by Tyler Warren gives us the 26-24 victory. I don't know why I didn't show the score, but it gets the 26-24 victory. 2 undefeated teams, the Bills and the Bengals. This is an AFC Championship teaser, and it's the Bills who actually take the victory. They barely win 24-23. So we head to play against the Bengals next week. They actually go into this one with a loss. Funny enough, I think it's next week. I'm pretty sure it is. But the Bills remain undefeated. And then the Lions visit Jacksonville to play against Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. I always talk about myself. And it's Jared Goff and the Lions who get the victory. What a play and catch by Jamison Williams. Moss's one defender gets by another. And the Lions are 5-1 on the year. They currently tie with the Packers in the NFC North in terms of record. Pretty active week this week. An episode. It's only going to be one game, so, as you can tell from the time of this episode left. But other games, Cleveland still can't buy a win. They lose to Dallas. Chicago loses their game. Philly got the win over Arizona, and they made it a little bit closer. Super Bowl rematch, the San Francisco 49ers get the best of the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry. The Titans lose to the Giants, interestingly enough. A high-scoring game between Denver and Miami. And as we know, Cincinnati loses that key game to Buffalo. I said AFC Championship preview. Joe Burrow actually probably had his worst game of the season in this one. So the defense did what they could. Josh Allen played pretty well. The run game, almost non-existent. Obviously, it's going to be the pass game between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. It usually always is. Because what else do you expect in a game between two of the best quarterbacks in the league? And then the 49ers, they got their revenge after Super Bowl. Don't ask me what number. But after the Super Bowl loss, they suffered. I didn't remember they had Nick Chubb. But the Raiders looked completely non-existent in this game. They lose 31-10, and they've had a pretty lackluster year after winning the Super Bowl last season. Interestingly enough, and I kind of went to look at this game. Denver and Minnesota, Denver and Miami. 9 total TDs combined from Bo Nix and Tua Tagovailoa. When in God's name you're going to hear Tua throw for 5 TDs in the game? So not really much defense being played in that game, but a pretty hectic one. You look at the standings, the Chiefs and Bills are the only undefeated teams in the league. Meanwhile, the Jets, Saints, and Browns still can't buy a win. As you go division by division, the Bengals currently lead the AFC North. We actually lead the AFC South for the first time in this franchise, or this series, after getting that win over the Colts. The Bills, obviously, being the team to look out for. The rest of the division not doing all that well. AFC West, an opposite of what we saw last season, where the Chiefs were struggling, and now they're the best team in there. The NFC North, Lions and Packers are basically competing. The Bears are always going to suck. The NFC South is always going to be close if you don't count the Saints. NFC East has the Eagles leading the way, and then NFC West is going to be the same as the NFC South, where it's going to be close. Between 4 teams instead of only 3. But yeah, for the first time we lead our division, and we got to take on the AFC North divisional leader. I also want to look at New England and see how Michael Pittman did. No touchdown for Drake May in that game, though. It came down to really the run game, seemingly. They did end up losing because they lost 24-13, and Michael Pittman wasn't a huge factor in that game, but hopefully down the line he will be to the Patriots. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Colts franchise. I know it was only one game, but there was a lot included in this one, so I didn't really want to burn it out in this game. Next week, we will indeed play against Cincinnati on the road against a team who's no longer undefeated, but still is going to feel like an undefeated team. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content or are new to the content. And I will catch you guys next time, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.